Greetings, life management students. So this is our study session for exam number 2. So exam number 2 covers modules 6 through 9. So what you should do is you should be going right along with me. You should have your study guide for exam number 2, modules 6 through 9 with you. And my goal here is just to go through quickly the information to make sure that you have the correct information that you can then study or prepare for the exam. And so hopefully, you want to watch this video or listen to it a couple times so that it seeps into your brain and you kind of remember. So when it comes to exam time, you're all ready. So let's talk about module number 6. Module number 6 was talking about organization and time management. So finding a clean place where you can study is the first step in getting organized so you can study effectively. Finding a clean place where you can study is the first step in getting organized so you can study effectively. 4 steps to effective time management. 4 steps to effective time management are to track your time, identify your priorities, build a schedule, use tools to track your progress. Prioritizing commitments is a deeply personal process that depends on your values and goals. When you decide which commitments are most important to you, you prioritize your commitments. How many hours should you study outside of class? 6 hours for every 3-hour class. So most courses are 3 hours. We're talking about college courses. Most college courses are 3-hour per week courses. And so for that class, you should be spending, double that time or 6 hours outside of class. For the exam, I want to just kind of give you a heads up here. For the exam, they will do something like give you an example problem or question. It might say something like, if Joe has 5 3-hour classes, how many hours per week does Joe need to study outside of class, right? And so if he has 5 classes, you would take 5 and multiply it times the number 6, correct? That would then give you how many hours of study time that Joe needs to have outside of class, so 30 hours. Being accountable, holding yourself responsible for completing tasks and meeting your obligations. We should all be accountable. So being accountable means holding yourself responsible for completing tasks and meeting obligations. To-do list. A to-do list helps you to manage time and activities on a daily basis by reminding you of key tasks that you need to do. Online classes, most online classes take as much time to complete as traditional classes. Sometimes I think they require a little bit more work because you need to be on top of your deadlines, right? Procrastinate. When you delay or put off delay or put off in action that needs to be completed. So whether we procrastinate on writing a paper, whether we procrastinate on calling someone we don't want to talk to, that's what that means. We put it off. Reframe expectations so that you can focus on simply doing your best and overcome procrastination. So when you reframe your expectations, it helps you to overcome procrastination. So again, this might be a question on the exam where they give you an example and they might say something like, Susie is really stressed out that she will do bad on the exam coming up. What would Susie do to help her, in that process, right? Reframe expectations. Honoring your priorities may sometimes involve disappointing someone who wants some of your time. Honoring your priorities may sometimes involve disappointing someone who wants some of your time. Work-life balance is important because it helps you to avoid getting burned out on the job. work-life balance. Module number 7 talks about practices of a successful student, being successful in school. What do you demonstrate when you take tests? What you have learned in class. When we annotate, we are doing things like jotting down quick notes, inserting our own examples so they make sense to us, drawing symbols, thus annotating. When we do something like highlighting, it is not annotating. So remember that for the exam. Highlighting is not annotating. When we do highlight and underline, when we're reading, highlighting and underlining, we want to make sure to do that with the main ideas and key concepts. So when reading, highlight and underline the main ideas and key concepts. What helps you learn and remember material? Applying what you read to your own life. Using a cue, such as a finger, is one way to increase the speed at which you read. That's what we mean. When we use your finger to follow along the line, it can help you increase the speed at which you read. Skimming is an effective strategy for deep understanding of material. Is that correct? No. So skimming is not an effective strategy for deep understanding. Skimming is when we skip. So we were looking at a page and we skip over some paragraphs or skip over sentences, and it's going to help us be faster at reading, but it's not going to help us understand the material. Recite. When you state the information you've learned out loud if you're alone, or in your head if you're with people, that is restate. When you're reciting that information, you're stating the information you learned out loud or in your head. Syllabus review. If you are preparing to take notes during a lecture, you should review the course syllabus before class. Paraphrase. Paraphrase is restating information in your own words. Restating information in your own words. Mapping is a note-taking format best used by visual learners. A note-taking format best used by visual learners. And the same thing on the exam, there'll probably be an example question. Like if Joe is a visual learner, what strategy might be a good, is best for him, and mapping would be good. The brain and aging. The human brain can forget information with normal wear and tear due to aging. Breaking up study time. The most productive way to learn new material is to space out your studying across multiple days and study in blocks of time. Don't cramp. When you're a lifelong learner, is someone who keeps building his or her knowledge and skills long after graduating from college. The benefits of being a lifelong learner: in your career, it makes you more marketable if you decide to look for a new job or ask for a raise. Test anxiety is nervousness or worry before or during an exam. When taking tests, to reduce test anxiety, reframe your thoughts. Say something like, I've studied this material and I can figure it out. Get rid of the negative thoughts and say, I've studied it and I'll figure it out. Integrity and cheating. When you take a test with integrity, you refrain or avoid cheating. Plagiarism is when one person uses another person's words or ideas and presents them as his or her own. That's plagiarism. Module 8, we talked about academic and career preparedness. Your vocational identity is a person's understanding of his or her career goals, interests, and strengths. An academic plan should reflect your goals. It's your academic plan. I apologize if you hear noise in the background. I have teenagers playing video games and they're into it. A college major is a collection of courses organized around an academic theme. Internships are formal programs to provide practical experience for beginners in an occupation or a profession. Internships. Career planning does not end once you have a job. Continues. Module 9, we talked about stress management and conflict resolution. Stress is a mental tension caused by demanding, taxing, or burdensome circumstances. The stress hormone cortisol, it is released into your bloodstream when you're stressed out. Cortisol is the stress hormone released into our system. Stress management consists of making changes to your life if you are in a constant stressful situation, preventing stress by practicing self-care and relaxation, and managing your response to stressful situations when they do occur. That's stress management. Is all stress bad? No, we said that. Not all stress is bad. Causes of stress can be major life changes and daily irritations. What type of personality is more prone to stress? We said type A personalities. Signs of stress can be physical, mental, emotional, or behavioral. Stress management tips: keep a positive attitude, exercise regularly, eat healthy, well-balanced meals, get enough rest and sleep. Emotional signs of stress can be depression and anxiety, anger, irritability, or restlessness, feeling overwhelmed, unmotivated, or unfocused, trouble sleeping or sleeping too much. What are some of the physical benefits of meditation? Decreases that stress hormone cortisol, strengthens immune system, reduces symptoms of cardiovascular or heart disease, asthma, type 2 diabetes, PMS, and chronic pain. It reduces all of those. What is good stress? Good stress is the type of stress we feel when we are excited. What is bad stress? Bad stress occurs when we repeatedly face stressors that take a heavy toll and feel inescapable. Chronic stress is bad stress. That will be on the exam. Remember, chronic stress is bad stress. Conflict. Conflict is normal. Conflict is a part of our life. Conflict is normal. Causes of conflict within family and friendships: jealousy, poor communication skills, lack of consideration and or respect for the other person, different principles or values or outlooks on life, or one person gives more than the other. When having conflict with loved ones, remain calm. Don't blame. Accept the other person's perspective is different, but not wrong. Okay, guys, that's it. So again, this should be what you use to really study and focus for exam number 2. I am wishing all of you the best on your exams.